So I said to Mel, where would you like to go this weekend? A romantic break in Paris? New York shopping? Or even partying in Las Vegas? And she said...
the Bovington Tank Museum. Did I really? Okay. I've already found the calf up there. Yes.
Who should we choose? Try the Private Albert Coleman.
I'm Albert Coleman, one of the 4 gunners. This tank's what we call a female, because it's got 2 machine guns each side. The male has cannons instead, you see. Great guns, my figures, but their armoured jackets get ever so hot. And the vibrations in here means that I always have to check for loose screws.
This beast will cross an 8-foot wide trench if it's done properly. But get it wrong and you just fall in. It's the devil's own job getting out again. I've also got to keep the engine running. And you can imagine, if something can go wrong in battle, it will.
So that's Mel, and this little display, it's the actual size of the driver's compartment in the Centurion tank. So it's not very big, is it? Considering how big are you? 5'2". So you saw Mel in the mock-up of the driver's compartment. This is the actual tank, the Centurion. Your tank.
Oh no, ow, it's my hair. It's pulled my hair.
You'd make a fine soldier, you would. Oh, you pulled my hair. So this is the trench experience. The first room, obviously, you're being enlisted. Then you go into the second part, and you're on the train, aren't you? You're off on your way. So then you come through to this bit, which is a mock-up of the trenches. So in the World War I exhibition, they've got this tank, and it's it's the only surviving Mark I tank from the First World War. So we're inside one of the tanks. Imagine being in here with the engine going, guns firing, There's like 8 people inside here. There's no comfort, no suspension.
The horse is no match for the weapons he faced. He was killed. I remember it clearly. Oh, it hurts to think of him and all the others who didn't come back. I feel so lucky to still be here. Perhaps things will be different for you. They'll send these new tanks to face the guns and shells. Armor plate instead of flesh.
The British hope that the war would be over soon was dashed, but the Great Swan boosted morale amongst the British soldiers and gave them a glimpse of the liberation celebrations that were to come at the end of the war.
Hello, sir.
Good day, madam.
What would you like?
Do you have anything for the weekend?
Some condensed milk or some powdered egg.
I'm not into that kinky stuff. I think I'll leave. Good day.
Okay, goodbye.
Don't panic. Don't panic.
My hat's not protecting anything.
My sister's marvelous rosy eyes feel so much for you, as we know from experience what it means to be away from those we love most of all.
If you look at the front of a tank, you will see that that is where the thickest armour exists, because that is where the threat came from during the Cold War. Since we have moved to working in Iraq and Afghanistan, the nature of that threat has changed, and a great deal of the threat that we now face comes from the underneath of the vehicle, from the improvised explosive device. And as a direct result of that, we have had to reconsider not only the configuration of our vehicles, but the absolute design and shape of them as well.
So that was our trip to the Tank Museum in Dorset. Highly recommended. Good fun, wasn't it?
It was okay.
Interesting. Mel's a bit tanked out.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it before I came, but there we go.
We did.
If you liked army things and you like tanks,
But some of the stories are interesting, the real stories.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so...
Those real stories are good.
And it's big. It's much bigger than I expected.
Yeah.
So definitely worth a trip.
And
it's £14.50 if you buy a ticket online, and that gives you a year's pass, doesn't it? You can come back again, excluding special events. But
I would say it's definitely at least half a day.
Yeah, at least half a day, if not longer. If you read everything, it's a full day.
Oh, but definitely.
Yeah. So that's a bye from us, and we'll see you in another video coming up very shortly.
Goodbye.
Bye.